Thank you, Jack, and thank you all. Thank all of you for being here today. I've been told this is the highest turnout that you've seen at a Michigan Student Voting Summit, and there's no better time than now to have this turnout. So thank you for being so engaged, and to the organizers of this great gathering. I'm really happy and proud to be working alongside of you in this historic moment for democracy. I also, of course, want to thank the members of the Collegiate Student Advisory Task Force, and especially Landon Myers, the coordinator for the MI Campus Vote Project. So thank you all for your work, and for, again, all of you here today, students, faculty, administrators, and the many institutions that are supporting this work, including Campus Vote Project, Michigan State University, our partners at Wayne State, University of Michigan, and also All Voting is Local, which continues to be on the forefront of championing real democracy and election policies that work for everyone. And just know that the time and the resources that you all and that the organizations that you're a part of are dedicating to bolstering civic engagement is so important in this moment, in this critical time in our nation's history and in the history of our democracy. When I created the Collegiate Student Advisory Task Force in 2019, we could never have envisioned the way our college campuses and our democracy would be shaken in the years ahead. I remember when we convened that first group in our office here in Lansing, our conversation was about how to implement the new voter-driven changes that were enacted by voters in 2018, amending our state constitution to give every voter access to the right to be automatically registered to vote when you interact with our office, the right to be registered and up until and on election day itself, and also the right to vote from home, the right to vote absentee. Some of you may remember the olden days. Prior to my taking office, you had to be registered 30 days ahead of time to participate in that election. That is now gone. And you also had to, as many students may remember, when you registered to vote in person the first time. And so many students had to travel back home to wherever they were in Michigan, Marquette, Detroit, anywhere else, and vote then if it was their first election, which was often not easy to do, as you all know, in the middle of November, in the middle of a fall semester. Well, no longer. You now have a right to vote absentee in every election. And I'm proud to have worked with so many of you to make that right real for students all throughout the state. So thank you. But of course, as we were implementing that change and as we were working to ensure there were ballot receptacles for people to return their ballots on campus, we worked to bring precincts to campuses like Wayne State and here in Michigan State, so people could, if you chose, vote in person here on your campus, in your campus community. Then the pandemic hit, and that, of course, changed many things for all of us. But I'm really proud that in the midst of that global pandemic, we still saw here in Michigan the highest turnout ever in our state's history. And I'm also particularly proud that in every election we've held under these new policies that enable citizens to register and vote up to and on election day itself, the vast majority, first we see thousands doing that in every election, new voters participating for the first time, but the vast majority of people who are taking advantage of that right aren't just young voters. They're 18 and 19-year-old citizens who otherwise would not participate in that particular election. So you've truly changed the makeup of our electorate here in this state to ensure that young people's voices are heard, and that no matter where someone lives or where they are on election day, they can participate in our democracy. And this has had real effects for young voters in the state. So know that your leadership, your work is actually making a difference for your colleagues all across the state and here on campus. And then with the COVID restrictions now behind us, this second iteration of the task force is able to convene in person on your campuses and centrally, and we're already seeing even more ambitions and enthusiasm for years ahead, because guess what? We've done a lot of work together in these last 3.5 years, but our work is not yet over. We've got a lot of work still yet ahead of us to ensure that citizens all throughout Michigan, and that young voters in particular, have access to the vote and know their voices matter. And their voices can matter not just at the ballot box, but at moving policies that reflect your values and your needs as well. And right now I can say our nation, our state, needs ambitious, enthusiastic supporters of democracy. You have been those champions. I have dedicated my entire career to strengthening and defending voting rights and democracy. And I can tell you without a doubt that the moment we are now in requires all of us to be defenders of democracy. And that defense of democracy is not a partisan effort. It's not about politics or even particular candidates. It's about simply ensuring that every eligible citizen has the tools they need to be an informed and engaged voter, knowing how to get their ballot, how to return it on time, and how to ensure that it's counted. And this is particularly important that we all work together in a moment like this, because we are truly facing a nationally coordinated, multi-year, multifaceted, well-funded effort to spread misinformation to young people and old voters all alike, everyone in between, about our state's safe, secure, and accurate elections. And it's become dangerous in many ways, dangerous for the clerks doing our work, dangerous for our democracy as well. But the good news is that truth is on our side. Truth is on the side of democracy. And the way to ensure that democracy prevails is to do exactly what all of you are here to do today and committed to doing, telling the truth and engaging more people in our political process. Because when more people engage in our democracy firsthand, as you all know, they see the treasure that it is. They see how valuable the one person, one vote promise in our Constitution is to them as individuals and to a peaceful and prosperous society for all. That's why I'm proud to continue working alongside all of you to share accurate, trusted information about our democracy. We've set up websites, we've set up emails to verify all information. Misinformation at michigan.gov is where you can send any questions you have about things you may be hearing or just verifications that you need. And we're working to ensure that no matter where someone lives or who they vote for, that they are engaged in their community and they're participating in our elections. So thank you for being a part of this work, because we can't do it without you. By listening to you and being responsive to what you need here and in other campus communities all across the state, we can be assured that our clerks and our poll workers and everyone from the state level to down to the local precinct level is delivering to you the democracy that will ensure your voices are heard and your votes are counted. So again, thank you. The work you're doing is tremendously important to our communities, our state, and our nation. I look forward to supporting you in the months ahead. And I want to put out a plea as well. I want to close by just saying this. Every single one of you should sign up to be a poll worker in this year's elections. So if anyone here is not signed up, go to michigan.gov/democracy-MVP, or you could just see Sarah from my team. She'll sign you right up. But I've just come from a meetings in Detroit where we need people. We need people who are committed to ensuring democracy works for everyone. So sign up, be a poll worker in your community, serve to ensure the laws are followed, our democracy is secure, and that every citizen throughout the state of Michigan can be assured that their voices are heard and their votes are counted. Thank you.